he was put to task to actually explain how this seamless transition will actually take place under his leadership. And these are some of the 5 cabinet secretary nominees that appeared today, the first day of the vetting. And this is a very rigorous process that we will witness for at least the next 4 days, with some expected to appear tomorrow for the vetting, and of course to face the panel, the vetting panel, the parliamentary vetting panel led by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, just to defend their nomination. And of course we have a very comprehensive coverage on this, and of course we'll be bringing you a 360 clockwise coverage on what transpired at the Parliament building. And of course a lot of many stories lined up for you, including the ongoing the ongoing Paralympics games. And of course we have a lot of bunch of stories in regard to that, and we'll be bringing you up to speed. But first thing first, our top stories tonight.
Tonight, don't blame me. Kindiki distanced himself from police brutality witnessed during anti-government protests. I will crush cartels. Health Cabinet Secretary nominee Dr. Deborah Barasa says she will seal all corruption loopholes to flush out cartels at Afya House. Also tonight, the fight against illicit brew. Gachagua holds a multi-agency meeting to tighten war on illicit brew. Plus, we want answers. Ngoma youths demand speedy and transparent investigation into alleged misappropriation of county funds.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
That's right. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Samuel Kelo. Remember, you can follow this broadcast on all of our social media platforms. We are coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News Live. You can tweet us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Auma Evans. Remember to use the hashtag Primetime News. So tonight we begin our bulletin with the latest. In an attempt to sanitize his name and defend his nomination as Cabinet Secretary for National Security and Internal Affairs, Professor Kithure Kindiki openly distanced himself from police brutality witnessed in the recent protests. Speaking during the vetting at the County Hall in Parliament buildings, Kindiki seemingly shifted the blame to the then Inspector General of Police Japheth Kome, terming police brutality an operation issue and not policy issue within his mandate. James Baraka, status of tonight.
I, Kithure Kindiki, do swear that...
For more than 2 hours, former Cabinet Secretary of Security and Internal Affairs Professor Kithure Kindiki sat on the hot seat in front of the Parliamentary Committee to not only defend his appointment, but also to account for the happenings in his docket for the last 20 months.
I was in office for 21 months, 623 days. I can account for each and every day.
Speaking at the vetting, Kindiki did not shy off from admonishing and separating himself from the instances of police brutality where excessive force was used to maim and kill protesters who are advocating for better leadership, claiming that the police is an independent body.
So there's a feeling that the National Police response to protest is stuck in the old way of doing things. So the question is, to what extent do you think ministerial responsibility for the brutality meted on Kenyans by security organs? At what level do you think you can take responsibility for that?
The events the Honorable Member is referring to were mainly operational issues. There are only two people who can give the Inspector General of Police directives. First, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, but only on policy issues. Even beyond the police having independent operational command, the issue of the use of firearms by a police officer is individual.
We did see that the Inspector General of Police resigned. Do you think that as a CS, you should not also have taken responsibility, political responsibility for that failure that the resignation confirms, and also either resigned or declined the appointment?
Ministers don't instruct operations, they instruct policy. I can only resign if my policy instruction is unconstitutional or illegal.
Additionally, Kindiki promised that the issue of identification cards will be addressed fully despite the controversy related to the Maisha card.
Let's take into account that an ID in this country is everything.
We will make sure that we anticipate and put in place a rapid response initiative where you deploy additional facilities, additional service points, additional personnel, even if it's on a temporary basis, at a time when many of these IDs will be expiring. But by and large, the old ID, the expired ID should work until when the state gives you a new one.
The fate of Kindiki, who has a law degree from Moi University, master's degree in international human rights and democracy, and a PhD in international law from the University of Pretoria, South Africa, now lies in the hands of the committee tasked with the vetting of nominated cabinet secretaries. Ivy Masharia, KUTV.
Alright, just a point of correction. That story was done by Ivy Masharia. Now from Interior and National Coordination Cabinet Secretary nominee to Defense. Now, Defense Cabinet Secretary nominee Rosalinda Soipan Tuya evidenced her accomplishment while serving as Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry until her dismissal on 11th July 2024, asserting her confidence that she will remarkably handle the defense position while acknowledging that she will have plenty to learn in the formidable defense docket. Victor Washira reports.
Tuya, who graduated at the University of Washington with a Master's of Law, also served as Women Representative for Narok County from 2013 to 2022. Upon confirmation as CS for Defense, Tuya, who lacks a history working in security matters, acknowledged that she will have a lot to learn in this daunting position while expressing considerable willingness owing to her consultant personality.
I'm also a fast learner, Honorable Koech, and I'll have a lot of learning to do in terms of the military operations, the administration. And in order for me to effectively exercise my overall oversight, the overall policy direction and advisory, I will need to critically understand those operations.
While asked to offer her opinion on the internal deployment of the Kenya Defence Forces in recently witnessed scenarios such as quelling protests, Tuya maintained that the act of deploying the KDF to assist and cooperate with other agencies on emergencies and disasters was constitutional.
It is very important for Kenyans to understand the core mandate of the KDF, and one of which is the defense and protection of the territorial integrity of the country as well as the country's sovereignty. The other two key functions of KDF revolve around internal deployment.
While serving as the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Tuya recognized her successful ecosystem restoration program of planting trees throughout Kenya as credentials to anchor her nomination. Her nomination under the defense docket, however, raised question on her competency to undertake such a powerful role, while her fate now rests with the vetting committee. Victor Washira, KUTV.
All right, thank you, Victor Washira, for that. Now, the use of digital platform adequate community engagement, and situational analysis are major tools that the Health Cabinet Secretary nominee Dr. Deborah Barasa intends to use while leading the ministry if approved. Deborah vowed to flush out cartels at the Afya House by sealing all corruption loopholes. Dungo Pauline followed the proceedings and filed the following report.
Will you support, if confirmed, to create...
With the health docket having faced an array of challenges and its fair share of scandals, Health Cabinet Secretary nominee Dr. Deborah Barasa was second in line in today's schedule of CS vetting. During her time before the committee, Dr. Deborah Barasa outlined several measures she intends to implement during her time in office. In curbing theft from the NHIF, Dr. Deborah, who is also a qualified medical practitioner, urged the need to reduce human interaction by introducing use of digital platforms for ease in monitoring activities.
Mlongo Barasa. I am a qualified medical doctor. I have more than 18 years medical expertise and public health professional background.
If approved, Dr. Deborah, who takes the mantle from former CS Susan Nakumincha, will be tasked with overseeing the implementation of the new Social Health Insurance Fund, a project whose rollout has been in the pipeline for months on end. According to Daktari, one of the challenges that hamper the Social Health Insurance Fund was inadequate public participation, a situation that has had the public blind to the vision of the fund.
The challenges. We need to look at the misinformation and counter it. We need to engage the community. And one of the people in the community that we can use are the community health promoters.
In dealing with the cartels at Afya House, Dr. Deborah assured of her strategy as she says that she will focus on prevention rather than cure. This in the face of doubts raised of her ability to handle the mafia that have haunted the Afya House for years now.
So again, a consultative approach. I believe we need to involve the national team as well as the county government to have open dialogue and come up with interventions. We need to look at the situational analysis and see where are the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And from there, we need to come up with priority interventions. So I'm coming out of the government, but I believe having open dialogue, having consultations, and coming up to ensure we understand where the national team stops and where does the county begin.
Barasa, who is an infectious disease expert with more than 18 years of experience in the healthcare industry, has promised to work with high integrity according to the law if approved. The nominee Health Cabinet Secretary Deborah Mlongo Barasa will be taking over from the former CS Susan Nakumincha, who was sent home on 11th July by President William Ruto. Ndongo Pauline, KUTV.
Thank you, Ndongo Pauline, for that comprehensive reporting. Now from Deborah Barasa to Alice Wahome. Former Land Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome has projected a 5-year timeline to finalize the digitization of land records. This is as she estimates that the process will cost the government between 35 to 40 billion shillings. Wahome, appearing before the vetting committee, revealed that the digitization effort have been completed in Nairobi and are ongoing in Mombasa, a process she said was hampered due to budget constraints.
Thank you very much.
You are released to go.
In the vettings that happened today, land grabbing cases by cartels and fraudsters were among the major issues raised by the Parliamentary Committee on Appointments. The former Cabinet Secretary of Land, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development termed inadequate funds from the government as the main issue causing slow implementation of the digitalization system program, which requires approximately 40 billion Kenya shillings.
Very honest with the Parliament, because I'm at the right place. We needed a better budget, a bigger budget, to the tune of between 35 and 40 billion to be able to secure all our records.
Wahome also advocated for the Affordable Housing Fund project initiated by the President Ruto, stating that soon all 290 constituencies in the country will benefit from it. She, however, defended this position, claiming to be unemployed for the first time, if not vetted in, as the Cabinet Secretary for Land and Public Works.
If we have no affordable housing program coming, I think I want to assure you that the first entry to the affordable housing program is the 290 constituencies. Every constituency is supposed to be a beneficiary when we roll out fully.
Wahome was first nominated as the Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation on the 27th of September 2022. She has since been nominated a second time to the Ministry of Land and Public Works, and if approved, will retain the seat. Elsie Nyangor, KUTV.
Let's move to education docket. After his nomination as Cabinet Secretary, or rather Cabinet Secretary for Education, Julius Migos Agambo today appeared before the Parliamentary Vetting Committee to defend his nomination. Ocheng Cynthia reports on a day that Ogamba was at pain to explain how he will run the education docket that is facing a myriad of challenges, including seamless transition of competence-based curriculum of, if he preferred the acronym CBC, should Parliament approve his nomination.
Circulars from the ministry have been disregarded.
Appearing before the Parliament Vetting Committee, Education Cabinet Secretary nominee Julius Migos Ogamba was put to task to defend his nomination to the education docket and why he thinks he is the best man for the job.
By various institutions.
Despite the complex questions regarding high payment in school, where all services are supposed to be free according to the laws, Julius stated that he aims to collaborate with the Teachers Service Commission to monitor and take action against teachers who defraud parents as a measure to combat this malpractice. Additionally, he agreed to the issue of primary school students being domiciled in the primary level, stating that other classrooms will be built to address this shortfall.
An audit has been done to determine that there are 16,000 classrooms that are required. So far, 3,500 are under construction and they're likely to be ready in the next 2 or 3 months. The other 7,500, I understand, are supposed to start in October, and they'll take 3 months.
Julius proposed registering all students nationwide in the naming system, claiming that the system would help in identifying students across different sectors, a matter President William Ruto has prioritized in fighting against hiring of employees with illegal documents.
But we come at this time, at a critical time when there is a crisis. Using this crisis, it is very possible to dismantle the cartels, because with the support, the political support, the parliamentary support, and the support from the public, if we say today that we know you've been doing the wrong thing, we will report you.
Migos was, however, at pain to provide response to issues affecting the education sector and the kinds of reforms he would implement to address the challenges. Ocheng Cynthia for KUTV News.
Where before.
Now, in a decisive move against the menace of illicit alcohol and drug abuse, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua hosted a pivotal high-level meeting unveiling new measures to tighten control over the alcoholic drink sector. The government is gearing up to amend the Alcoholic Drinks Control Act, aiming for better traceability and enhanced enforcement, as Abdisamed Mohamud now reports.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua led a multi-agency meeting at the official residence in Karen, focused on intensifying the fight against illicit alcohol and drug abuse. This gathering brought together key figures, including Principal Secretaries Raymond Omolo, Harry Kimtai, and Terry Mbaika, as well as officials from the Kenya Revenue Authority and other regulatory bodies. Since the adoption of stringent measures in March 2024, the authorities have been active. Over 65,000 raids have been conducted, resulting in the arrest of over 30,000 individuals and the seizure of substantial quantities of illicit alcohol. The Ministry of Health has also issued directives for establishing rehabilitation wards in level 3 hospitals and above, further supporting those affected by substance abuse. Among the key updates, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board has conducted 408 inspections, leading to the closure of 150 premises and ongoing prosecutions for non-compliance. The proposed amendment to the Alcoholic Drinks Control Act will enhance traceability of raw materials and finished products, a move set to bolster enforcement efforts. This proposal is now part of the government's omnibus bill, currently under review by the Attorney General. Abdul Samad Mahmoud, KUTV.
Alright, now we are taking a very short break and we'll be back with more, and of course, more in line for you. See you in a bit.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
Everyone desires to stay in a place that is so quiet, like right here in Gatina, the Great North. Walk with me in this nice story of art where we make glasses, plastics, and even clothes to more beautiful things.
So hizi machupa tukishaziokota hivyo, tukiletewa zetu tumebaya na zetu nini, tunakujaga tunaziweka kwa maji kwanza.
What you see as inorganic waste, Herman and his team sees it as a money-making venture. Join me, Songoro Masimaira, this Friday at 6:30 and 9 p.m. news for this exciting story, turning trash into treasure.
Welcome back, and you're glad you chose to stay with us. Now let's move on. In a bid to further the universal healthcare agenda, the Ministry of Health is working to enhance mobility and equipment of community health providers in order to enhance the health providers' reach and logistics in facilitating preventive health care. This is according to Mary Mudhoni, Principal Secretary for the State Department of Public Health and Professional Standards. Mudhoni announces this, emphasizing the importance of quality services and community collaborating in preventing diseases and reducing medical costs, as Purity Njambi now reports.
The Ministry of Health is seeking to work on enhancing the logistics and mobility of community health providers in the country by partnering with the likes of the African Medical and Research Foundation AMREF to ensure the community health provider can reach clients easily in vast areas like Mbere in Embu. The PS, who spoke while touring a community health providers training in Embu, assured health providers that the government, in conjunction with partners like AMREF, will work on logistics to ensure they are able to reach clients.
Tutashikana pamoja na our development partners na AMREF, asanteni sana. Tunataka kushikana nao. Najua they have already mapped out a pilot county, but tutakuja hata Embu, tutafika Embu, so that we can see whether we are able to bridge the gap in terms of logistics.
Muthoni praised the county's health providers' efforts as she emphasized the significant importance of their work in public health at the village level, while urging them to involve residents in addressing public health issues, including maintaining cleanliness at home.
Kushughulikia mazingira yetu. Ukifika pale kwa mwenzako, unamwambia hii kichaka ni kubwa sana. Tufanye nini? Trim. Na waziri ameniambia siku hizi yako na usafi mashinani.
Muthoni was supported by Embu County Deputy Governor Kinyua Mugo, who mentioned the delay in allowances for county health providers, assuring that improvements will be made and that the allowances will be delivered on time.
Tumesikizana, tutakuwa na mwafaka. Tujadiliane. Tuone kama tunaweza kuwa na mpango kama nikuja ikiwa the same time. Sitakuwa kitu ya maana.
Additionally, Chief Medical Services Officer for Embu stated that the county has allocated funds in its budget to meet their needs, ensuring that health workers will not face any problems in their work.
Sahi hatuna wasiwasi on the payments of the CHPs because we embedded their stipend in the budget.
This step is part of a broader effort by the Public Health Department to support community health providers nationwide, with these efforts expected to significantly contribute to improving health services. Mwita Njambi, KUTV.
Now, the Kenya rather faces a critical financial crisis following a Court of Appeal ruling that declared the significant parts of the Finance Act of 2023 unconstitutional. And as KUTV's Mary John reports, this landmark decision has exposed procedural failures that left the country without a valid Finance Act.
Kenya is now facing an unprecedented situation after the Court of Appeal ruled the Finance Act 2023 unconstitutional. The government has had to revert to previous budgetary measures, where it was recently forced to revert to spending within that budget after President Ruto declined to sign the Finance Bill 2024 into the law following violent protests. The Court of Appeal on Wednesday, comprising Judges John Mativo, Agnes Murgor, and Kadhurima Minoti, termed the Finance Act 2024 unconstitutional. The court's decision was based on the act's failure to comply with the constitutional requirements for public participation, as mandated by Articles 10 and 118. This failure has led to the declaration of the entire Finance Act 2023 as null and void. The government aimed to generate up to 311 billion from the Finance Act 2023. However, according to the Kenya Revenue Authority, revenues increased by 241 billion during the fiscal year from July 2023 to June 2024, with part of this rise attributed to the Finance Act 2023. The Finance Act 2023 has remained in effect beyond its intended period. After the nullification, Kenya is left without a Finance Act to govern taxation. The question is, what is the fate of Kenya financial state? Joy Waithera, KUTV.
Thank you, Joy Waithera, for that. Now, 1 month after the Madaraka Day celebrations concluded in Bungoma County, the youth in the county are now calling for the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to conduct a swift and transparent investigations into allegation of misappropriation of funds involving 148 million shillings allocated for the Madaraka Day celebrations. Brand Obicom with the details.
Youth in Bungoma County have come forward to air their complaints on how the county government managed funds disbursed for use during this year's Madaraka Day celebrations. The youth, who submitted their complaints to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation DCI, and the Office of the Auditor General, claimed that the county government used over 140 million shillings inappropriately.
After the event, it emerged that the county government of Bungoma spent close close to 150 million shillings during this state function. We challenge Governor Kennedy Lusaka to account for this amount, but his explanations left even more questions. We were not convinced.
The youth have called on the authorities to investigate the use of these funds and to provide findings transparently so that those involved in corruption cases can face legal action.
Sika vijana tumandikia DCI, EACC and the Auditor General tumandikia barua wakuja wafanya uchunguzi wa audits hizo hiyo pesa ilitumika. Asa tunataka hiyo ripoti iwekwe wazi kwa umma, all the citizens wajue, plus serikali yote, vijana wenzetu pia wote wenye hawajakuwa na sisi pia wakwe pamoja na sisi.
They have also requested a distinction between development projects funded by the national government and those funded by the county government in order to strengthen efforts to monitor these projects in case any issue arises.
Katika ripoti yetu tumeomba serikali ya kitaifa inayoongozwa na Rais William Ruto wakuje out clearly, watuambie wakati wanapanga state function kama siku ya madaraka, county government inafaa kufanya nini katika hiyo shughuli yote, ili tuweze kujua county government wanatumia pesa yao kufanya nini. Kwa jinsi tunajua state functions are supposed to be fully funded by the national government, not the county government.
Additionally, they accused the county government of favoring certain areas within the county while other areas remained undeveloped.
Ni Governor Lusaka intentionally ameamua kupeana rasilimali za county kwa njia ambayo si ya kisawasawa. Ukiangalia Sirisia, Bumula na Webuye hawajapata rasilimali zote, hawajapata any serious project. Huko anaenda wakati wa matanga peke yake na shughuli za kikanisa. Lakini kuna sub counties kama Kimilili na Mount Elgon ambao wampeleka pesa zingine huko zote.
This is seen as a new awakening among the youth in the country who have taken on the responsibility of ensuring proper use of public and government resources since the emergence of the Gen Z protest. Brian Tobiko, KUTV.
We are due to yet another short break. Remember, when you come back, it's all about sporting news. See you now.
Where uncertainty looms and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, we've got you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari-ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimweli.
It's time for the latest in the world of sports. Now, Samuel Gadhimba finished 22nd in the men's 20-kilometer walking race in Paris Olympics on Thursday morning, an event that marked the start of track and field events. Gadhimba, who started his Olympic campaign hoping to impress the tons of Kenyans who were out to cheer him, looked comfortable at the 18th place after 5 kilometers, but was then pushed to 15 after 10-kilometer mark before bouncing back to 10th after the 15-kilometer mark. At the same time, Kenya volleyball team Malkia Strikers lost their second match after a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Poland. Kenya will now play next Japan in their final Group B clash. Now, over 150 top amateur golfers are expected to grace the Tanzanian leg of the 2024 KCB East Africa Golf Tour at the 18-hole Lugalo Golf Club in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania this weekend. Now, the final regional tournament will get underway at 7 a.m. as players continue to fight for their places in the tour grand finale slated for December 6, 2024. With the venue yet to be confirmed. Outside Kenya, KCB has previously held tournaments in Burundi, making Tanzania the second East African country to tour. The second East African country the tour is traversing this year. After Tanzania's edition, the series will head back to Nyanza Golf Club in Kenya on August 17, 2024. Minutes down past the hour, time to say goodbye for now. Do have a fantastic night. My good name is Auma Evans. Samuel Kelo has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Until next time, do have a lovely night and God bless Kenya.